Let's bring him in. The man from Baltimore, the host to Stay in Your Lane.
Big Dub.
Our good friend, Olympic gold medalist Bernard Hollywood Williams. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing marvelous-ism.
Man, Collin just blew my mind. I don't know how much of this you just heard. Collin just blew my mind. We were talking about pilots, fighter pilots during the commercial break, and I'd heard a cool story yesterday that Ewan McGregor, the actor who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, has a brother who's in the RAF, the Royal Air Force for England, for Her Majesty. And his call sign, since his brother plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, he is Obi-2. That's his call sign in the RAF. Isn't that beautiful? And then Collin just blew my mind telling me that Ewan McGregor's uncle played, who is it again? Wedge Antilles in the original Star Wars.
Boy, they're keeping it in the family.
Keep it in the family, man.
The
it's a Star Wars legacy.
The actor's name is Dennis Lawson. His mom's name is Carol Diane McGregor.
Hey, keep it in the family.
There we go.
Next you're going to see Conor McGregor in the next one.
What if they're related?
My goodness.
What a family.
So I'm very glad you're talking about starting a family, because I found an Olympic story. This one is a bit rough on the family. A bit rough, they might say. A pole vaulter has impaled himself in the worst possible place that one could impale himself with a pole vault.
Oh, no.
A 21-year-old was having a pretty typical training session at the BYU track area and had a bit of an accident with the pole vault, got a little bit too much bounce, and ended up planting himself exactly where you think he did on this pole vault. Bernard, I got to ask, in all your years of track and field, you ever seen an accident like this?
Actually, I've seen something a lot worse.
Oh.
But we'll move on.
Oh.
I actually was at a track meet live. The guy was throwing a javelin, and the wind took the javelin far over, and it stabbed one of the triple jumpers in the back while he was stretching.
Is he?
How deep? How deep?
He okay?
Well, I mean, he was fine. I think he was fine, but it was a shock to us that he turned around and was like, "Hey, look at this! What is this?"
What just hit me in the back, and he's got like a 6-foot pole hanging out of his back.
Yeah, while he was stretching. So he ended up living, but that was probably the worst thing. Oh, wow, I did see a woman get hit in the head with a shot put. But I think that the javelin was probably the most gruesome that I saw, like, up front, like,
did it go
face
through?
to face while I was warming up.
Yeah, did it come out both sides, or was it just in?
No, it just stuck in his back. It didn't come out both sides.
How deep are we talking? How deep are we talking? Like an inch? Like 3 inches? Like 6 inches?
We talking at least. I couldn't even explain. I know it was still sticking up in his back. It was still like sticking out. That's all I can say. It didn't go all the way through, and luckily it didn't hit a major artery or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff is on YouTube. But I was actually there live. That's probably the worst thing I've seen, other than like what I just heard about this pole vault thing.
So this pole vaulter, his name is Zach McWhorter. Now let me tell you, things actually work out okay for Zach McWhorter, because this incident, although it just got put on the internet, this incident actually happened years ago. So why this comes up today, even though this happened years ago, why this comes up today is because Zach McWhorter has made himself, I think, a decent bit of money by putting this on the social media site TikTok. And apparently this has gone viral, and hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of people around the country have seen, or around the world have seen this video. So I guess his TikTok fund is doing pretty good. So he himself has a sense of humor about this. He knows what he's putting out there. As he says, I know what the people want to see, and I got the video. So he puts it on TikTok. Now he's getting the TikTok money, which, hey, that's a nice recompense for what you had to go through. Now, there's another bit of good news for Zach McWhorter. When he went through this a few years ago, he had the benefit of the best of luck over two things. The best of luck over two things. One, when he impaled himself in the area, the one person you want there is probably your dad. Thankfully, the pole vault coach for the BYU track team was his father. Okay? So a pole vault coach isn't necessarily a full-time job. It's something that you just know how to do, so you go and help out the BYU track team. His real job in life, the one thing you'd want Pop to do in this situation for a living, Dad's a urologist. What are the odds that you the guy that
wait a minute.
Yeah.
So hold on. So it didn't go up his butt. It went through his private part?
In the in-between area.
Oh, yeah.
What they might call the perineal area.
Right, where you try to shave it and it looks like carpet sample from Home Depot.
Exactly. Now my question to you, Bernard, is if he had impaled himself in the perineal area, yet made it over the bar, is the record tainted?
I don't know, because he still got the short end of the stick.
Oh, there's just so many ways to go with that one. So many ways to go with that one. My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know, because if he got the short end of the stick, it depends on if he cleared the bar. That's what's most important. Did he clear the bar? If he cleared the bar, then, hey, that's a world record.
It didn't clear him.
Didn't clear him.
Oh.
Let me ask you this, Bernard. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. We're talking about the ring entrances and the 40-pound costume, a.k.a. uniform, that Deontay Wilder wore to the ring. Said he had to travel a great distance, upstairs, downstairs, through the tunnels, had to walk about 300 yards by the time he gets from the dressing area to the ring, saying that spent his legs. And that led to a slower performance in the first couple of rounds. Of course, then he gets hit in the ear and his equilibrium goes all off. Is that the most embarrassing excuse you've ever heard for explaining away a loss, is that your costume was too heavy that you wore to the ring?
Well, everyone has excuses, and then you have people who have reasons. I think that's a pretty low excuse, because if his legs was tired, what about his arms? His arms wasn't throwing any punches.
Right.
And, his arms wasn't throwing any jabs. It has nothing to do with your legs. You're fighting. You're rock 'em, sock 'em, baby. And it wasn't like he was in the ring. It was only like 1 or 2 rounds. Like, I think he got knocked out in the 7th round. Was it the 7th round?
Yeah, well, he took he took the knockdown in the 3rd round when he got hit in the ear, and that's what caused the bleeding. And then they threw in the towel in the 7th round. You're right about that.
Yeah, but I think he just got outboxed, and I don't know what was in Tyson Fury's glove. I'm not saying he was cheating, but if you look at those gloves, man, he's throwing those things, and they are just wobbly. And if you even go to the beginning of the fight, when it was time for them to touch gloves, he kind of just backed up and just tapped the gloves. So whatever was in those gloves, man, if you look at it in slow motion on the web, look at how he hits him and how those gloves are real floppy. I don't know if he had an extra 5 pounds in there or what, but his hands was doing the thing, man. And
that's interesting you noticed that.
Month. And, the thing that made it so embarrassing was that he had all these images of black, all these images of great activists from Black history, when this ain't the platform for that. I love Black History Month, but it's all about boxing and skill, and he just got knocked out.
Something I heard Stephen A. Smith say, it's great if you want to celebrate Black History Month. You don't do it with your ring entrance. You do it by winning the fight.
And even if he was still, what if he even lost or won? It's like, what message are you sending?
Right.
This ain't a race fight.
Yeah, that's a great point. It has nothing to do with winning the fight. It has to do with the performance and the effort that you put out and doing your best. Those are the things that are going to honor your culture. I'm 100% behind you on that. But doing your best to win the fight.
Blacks and whites come together,
Exactly. Bernard, we always love having you on. The other cool thing I got to say about this Tyson Fury entrance, when he comes down to the ring being carried on a throne, he bought this throne for $1,100 on eBay. Collin, I didn't know you could get a throne for $1,100 on eBay. I'm going to need you to order me a new office chair. Before we get out of here, who's our beast of the day, Collin?
Just like down goes Wilder, down went Duke last night to Wake Forest, 113-101. With 1 minute 15 left in regulation, Duke had a 98.4% chance of winning the game.
Wow. Bernard Williams, we always love having you with us. Big thank you to Scott Preston for joining us in the first hour. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the morning show here on The Ticket.